shall we start just by running through a tuning
Yep.
first? I'm pretty sure that guitar will be fine, Gary, because we only used it earlier with Zach's lesson. So if you just give me, can you angle your camera down a little bit so I can see your guitar? Okay. And just yeah, that's just about fine. Yeah. Try your 6th string. It's very quiet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. 5th string. That's fine. 4th. Do that one again, please.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. 3rd. Yeah, 2nd. That didn't come through. Try that one again, please.
Yeah, I think you've got to speak before you actually click the chord, otherwise it doesn't register your voice.
Yeah, and your 1st.
Okay. Oop, finger away.
It's fine. Well, that were a lot easier than I thought as well. Excellent.
I used that guitar tuner. Tried that.
Yeah.
One. Use that.
Okay. Yeah, if you keep on top of it, then and every time you use it, then it shouldn't go that far altitude anyway to cause any problems. Great. Right. Well, very briefly, what we talked about last week, we're just going through the parts again of the guitar as quick as I can, because it was a bit like a person, the guitar, where we have the main bulk of it, the body, the neck stuck out the top, and then the head sat on top. These things here, the side here, tuning pegs, as we know, this is how we tune the guitar, with the tuning pegs. This thing here at the bottom where the strings are tied onto or attached into, it lifts the strings over the neck so that the strings don't touch the neck. That's the bridge down here. This one is the bit at the top, which if you ever have an accident with your guitar and you drop it, these are prone to snapping, just cracking little bits off of the side there. So they do often, you do often need to get them replaced. So it's important that, it's called the nut. The nut. We discussed the frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we know that we push down in between the frets. The fingers are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your 4th finger and your 1st finger, and your strings in that order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So last week we did 2 chords. We did E minor and A minor. Okay. Gary, do you want to just play me your E minor, please? Just again, it didn't come through. Nice, yeah. And yeah, again, please. Go on, Gordon, sorry. Go on.
Okay.
E minor. Perfect, yeah. And A minor, Gary. I think Gordon's right. I think you might need to say something first, because when you played it, then it was silent.
Right, okay then.
Yeah, perfect. And Gordon as well, you please. Right, what you've got there, you've got your 2nd and 3rd fingers still in the E minor position.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So that one and that one.
Yeah, try that. Try that one out. Go through the strings one at a time, like that.
That was clicking a bit.
But we need that 1st finger on for A minor.
Yeah.
So just try that again. Go through them again.
Seems to be.
It's your 3rd finger wants to go on that 3rd string, right on the fingertip.
Yeah. Trying it. That one.
Just push that 3rd finger down a bit harder.
Okay. Oh yeah.
That's it. That's it. Basically, the string has got to touch the fret. So you've got to push it down far enough so that it touches the fret. As soon as that string connects with that fret, then the string will vibrate and it'll ring out properly. If it's not touching, there's 2 reasons for it. Either one, it's not being pushed down hard enough and it's not physically touching the string,
Yeah.
And the other thing it could be is another part of your hand could be accidentally touching the string in another part of it here, which stops it from ringing. Sometimes it could be your sleeve, or it can be another finger down here that's catching on another string and not allowing it to ring out. So right on the fingertips, that's all right.
Okay.
Just 5 strings as well. Okay, good. So what we thought, last week we spoke about, we did those first 2 chords. What we said we was going to do is to start changing from one chord to the other, which we did. Yeah. Did we? I think we did.
Yeah. We said we were going to.
That's right. It was asking. Yeah, you could just move your fingers like that. So we move them over, take that finger off, move them back over, put the finger back on. That's it. So now what I want to try to do now is do it in groups of 4. I think I mentioned that last week. We're going to do them very slowly in groups of 4. And the way that I count it, instead of just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll leave a bit of space in between ones and between the beats. So I'll count it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'll play first, and 1 and 2. So it's really slow, and 3 and 4 and 1. Then I changed on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and change on 1 again. Okay. What I want you to do is, can you turn off your microphones? Just mute your microphones for a second. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to play it. And I just want you to play along with me. In your, I won't be able to hear you, but I will do in a second. The reason why I do that is because there's a time delay. If I count in 1, 2, 3, 4, we're all going to come in at a different time, and it's going to sound a mess. But at least you can practice it first, and then we'll put your microphones back on, and then I can listen to you doing it. All right.
Just working out how to do it, Gary.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, should be on the bottom of the screen on the far left-hand side. There's a button there. It says mute.
It's on top of these, on Apples.
Okay.
Let's have a quick look. Turn volume down.
Are you sure it's not on the bottom? I'm on an iMac.
Sorry, yeah, mute. I got it.
That's it. Brilliant. Okay, so you can play along to me now at home. And what I'll do, I'll start off really slow. I'll just start to speed up a little bit and see how you go on, okay? The main thing is we remember to change on 1. So as soon as you've done 4, you want to be thinking about that change to get the quick list so that we're ready to get back on 1 again, okay? So again, just play along with me. I won't be able to hear you, but I'll listen to you in a second. There's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here we go. And 1 and 2 and 3. Still on E minor. And 4. Now change to A minor. And 1 and 2 and no. Still on A minor. Sorry. Yeah. 4 beats. All 4 beats before we change. So we have lots of time to change. We don't need to. We don't need to rush. Let's go again from E minor. I think you're just lift your no. That's it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, E minor. That's it. Okay, so same again. All 4 strums before we change. So there's no big rush. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Change. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Change. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here we go. And 1 and 2 and 3 4. Here we go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Here we go. And 1. Okay. Just hold it there. Right, you want to put your microphones, unmute your mute buttons. Okay, that looked pretty good. I could see you changing and I could see you strumming just slightly after me. So we'll go through that again. This time, I'm not going to count you in. But if you just do it yourself, just count it in your head.
Okay.
1 and 2 and 4. Let's try Gary first.
Okay.
Okay, and go nice and slow. Or if you were doing it okay, that tempo as you just did it then whatever tempo you're comfortable with. But I'd rather you do it slow and get it spot on than try and rush it and not get it right. Just have a go at that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, just hold it there. Yeah, that's fine. Just hold it there. So what we ended up with then was you was actually playing slow, and then when you went to change, actually changed coming too fast. So I reckon you could probably speed that up a little bit. Let's try it at this tempo. I'll do it first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just try doing it at that speed.
Right, okay.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. So again, one more speed. Try that. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
You right? Yeah?
That's great. Yeah, spot on. Yeah, great. Yeah, good. Okay, we'll try that, Gordon. With you
All right,
really slow though.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Again, so if I take you back to the original tempo we did was 1 and 2. Really slow like that. Just count it in your head. Okay. Off you go.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's great. So, for one of the things for this week then is to really focus on that. It's a good. Have you got a pen and a bit of paper?
Yep.
You can make some notes on. I forgot to mention actually about that. What I normally do. Where are we? So I usually use A4 paper, but whatever you've got will do for now. And I usually say you just keep all your folders, all your papers together, anything that I give you, and put them in a little folder, a plastic wallet or something. So what I'll do is put today's date top right hand side. Is it the 10th today? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
10th of the 6th. Okay, so we've got the put the date on number 1 just underneath that, and I'm going to write it like this. An E minor, okay, which is a capital E and a small m.
Yep.
Followed by another 3 beats. Now, I would write those 3 beats just as a little diagonal dots like that. Yeah. And then I've just put a line after it.
Yep.
And underneath, I'm going to write the beats in that we've just been playing. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, like that.
Yep.
Okay. And then past that line, we start again with another 4 beats. And these are interesting because that line, the big line you've just drawn, it's called a bar line. And you've heard the saying, there's 4 beats in a bar. And this is what we're doing now. Bars in music, sections that we're counting in basically. So in this case, we're counting in 4s. So it's a section with 4 beats. So I'm going to do exactly the same, but this time on the next bar, because we're changing to A minor. Put that like that.
Okay.
I've run out of room a little bit as well, but I've just put another couple of bars on the end.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to write the 1, 2, 3, and 4 underneath all of them because it's already written there. We'll remember that. Okay, so I'm going to look at this so that I can see it. Right, so as we would... Go on, I'll wait for you to do it. Okay, so as we're strumming that, we would strum and count like this. It will be 1 and 2 on strum, and strum on 3, and strum on 4, and change A minor. Yeah, so basically, that's just written out exactly what we've been playing.
Yeah.
So, now, what you find quite a lot, I've got a little example here, in music. This is the good thing for guitar players. This is the good thing for guitar players. A song there written out, full music. And what we've got there, I don't know if you can see them. It's a bit dark in here, actually. Is it dark or is it me? Is my camera dark?
It's not
Let me get it in the middle. You can see.
Yeah.
You can see there's a bar line just there.
Yeah.
But you can also see that you've got the chords pointing. No idea where I'm pointing. You can see you've got the chords there. The first chord written there is A minor. Can you see that?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
And the next chord then after that is G, I think it is. Yeah, it's a G, and then an F. And basically, when we're following music, all that notation and all those dots, that's all that is the actual melody line of the vocals. So a guitar player wouldn't play the melody line that the singer sings. That's what the singer does. The guitar player will be playing chords. So when you see music like that, actually we're only following the chords over the top. So it makes it a lot easier than having to read music. Although we are reading, we're kind of following chords. It's slightly different to what a flautist or a saxophone player would have to do when they're learning the instrument. You know, they do just reading the note for notes. So we're in a lucky position. We'll be able to follow songs in books and just strum along the chords. And as long as we can count in 4s, whatever the song's in, 3s, then it should sound good. Okay, that's the first thing that we're going to look at for this week, and we're going to do a new chord. Let's do a new chord. I'm going to put that light on. Actually, it's not that bad. It's not that dark, is it?
No, it's not that bad, no.
No, that's okay, good. Right, so new chord. We're going to do a D major chord. So I'm just going to draw it out for you, the same as I did last week's. So as we've got there, you can see another diagram of the guitar. Got the head up here at the top from the tuning pegs, and the nuts just the top. The frets going across, and the 6 strings going up and down, up and down. So I'll write the strings in at the top again. Actually, I'm not going to write the first 2 because we're not going to play the first 2. We've just, so I've put in the top 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
I haven't wrote 5 and 6 on because we're not actually going to play them. Can you try and do that? Did we do that last week, or did we take a photo of it?
Took a photo.
A photo of the chords, yeah.
Well, let me talk it through, and then I'll write them in. Then you could do the same again.
Right.
Okay.
For this one. Okay. So we've got 2 crosses on the 5th string and the 6th string, which means we don't play those 2 strings. So with a thumb or a plectrum, we would start from the 4th string and play those 4 strings there. So I'm going to do the same as last week. I'm going to write the fingers on this diagram, and then you'll just have to look at what finger it is, on what fret it is, on which string it is, and we should get to the same chord and the same note. 3 fingers, 1, 2, and 3. Let's look at that one.
Okay.
Can you have a go at that? Just play me those 4 notes. Go on, Gary, you start off.
Right, yeah.
That sounds okay. Go through each string one at a time. Spot on. Yep, that's good.
Trying to see how it goes.
That's it. Yeah, looking good. That 3rd finger wants to be on your 2nd string.
3rd finger, 2nd. Okay.
I think that's okay. Now, just watch that your 1st finger isn't getting too far back towards that 1st fret. Yeah,
Okay.
because remember, the fret it's got to push against is the 2nd
Yeah.
fret. The
Okay.
closer it is to the fret, the easier it will be to hear that note. So now it's just that 2nd finger, which wants to be way down on your 1st string.
Right. Okay.
That looks good. And so, again, if you go through your notes, we'll be starting with your thumb on your 4th string.
Okay. Oh, one's bit.
Now, I would guess that you're
Yeah.
probably touching that string with your 3rd finger underneath a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah? So you're going to make sure that 3rd finger arches over the top of that 1st string.
Trying to, yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it'll just take a bit of practice, bit of getting used to it.
Okay. So it's the first one's on the 3rd string, did you say?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the 2nd one's on the
1st string.
1st string. And then that 3rd one's on the 2nd string.
Yeah. Again, just watch that 3rd and 1st
Yeah.
finger miles away from the frets that they're supposed to be pushing again. So just slide them up a little bit.
Up that way?
No, wrong way. That
That
finger wants to go right up as far as it can, and your 1st finger as well up towards that 2nd fret as far as it can.
Or up this way here.
So
More that way.
get the guitar.
Yeah.
So, if I push down here on that
Yeah.
fret there to play that note, what's happening is the string's vibrating between that fret there and the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So it's cutting off the vibrations here. It doesn't vibrate there. You can play that string and put your finger there and it won't make any difference. That string's a dead string. Yeah, because you've cut the distance of the string down. So if I'm going to push that string, if that string is going to hit that fret there, if I move it that way, I've got to push extremely hard for it to touch there.
Yeah.
Now, does that make sense? Yeah.
Mm.
So you put it in the middle, that's fine. But if you push it up towards that fret, the one that you're pushing against, you don't have to push as hard at all.
Okay.
So when we're playing this chord here, your first finger there should be up to the second fret where it should be pushing against. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I write them down, I write them in the middle of the fret.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to make it obvious which fret it's on. So first finger, second finger. You might need to move your elbow up a little bit one way to squeeze them both in, maybe. Yeah. And then the third finger.
My second, yeah.
Yeah, and the third finger. Yeah, and again, rather than pushing it back towards the second fret, move it up towards the third fret. That finger. That's it. Grill. Try that.
Still.
That's it.
First, second one.
Yeah. It's just the accuracy of the fingertips. Your fingertips right on and push down nice and hard. And make sure the finger that you push, make sure the string that you're pushing down, only that finger has to touch that string. So don't let any of your fingers touch two strings, another one by accident. You know, you need to arch your hand around sometimes. It can be uncomfortable.
Come on,
Not to worry. Do you want to just mute your microphone a second?
Yep.
And Gary, if while we're on that now, because you got that chord really easily, just try this where we go through the strings one at a time. So. Just try that. Is that third string ringing out? It's a bit quiet. Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. So on that one, because you've got that chord, that doesn't seem too bad. What I would suggest for you is to start changing from your D chord to your E minor chord, and from your D chord to your A minor chord as well, and start getting used to the changing with that chord. Let's say the other one you did really well, E minor to A minor. So with the D chord, just start doing the same thing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing to do then, when you're getting good at that, like you were doing then, just do it in twos. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm just fluctuating from the chords in no particular order.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, and that'll get your fingers working and getting used to these chord changes.
All right, yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's great. Gordon, do you want to put your microphone back on? Okay, let's have a listen. That's not bad. Yeah, you've nearly got it. Yeah, it's not bad.
Seems to be, seem to be lifting or something on that last one. Oh, it's catching. Okay.
Right. Well, there's a way of telling if it's catching on your third finger.
Yeah.
Lift off your second finger. No, that's your third finger. Put that one back.
Yeah.
And put your third finger back. Yeah.
On the second one.
And now play your first string. No, your first.
Oh, the first.
You could see it was definitely catching on something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So put them two fingers back on again, your first and your third. Them two. Play your first string.
Third one goes. So play the first two?
No, just the first string, number one.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming, yeah. Good, I can see you altering your hand and your position of your hand, that's great. Okay, well, when you can hear it, now put that second finger on and you should hear that.
So the second one goes on the first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
yeah?
Yeah.
So it was your third finger that was touching your first string then?
Right, yeah.
Your first finger.
What's that one here? Which one's that?
Yeah, excellent. Good. And then I suppose the next thing to do after that, when you get good, is just doing what Gary were doing then, where you go through your strings. If you get good at it, go a bit faster. So we call an arpeggio, where we've got a chord and we're not strumming it like that, we're picking out the notes in the chord. So we call an arpeggio. So what I would suggest, right, well, let's go, if you go back to your sheets, you wrote on number 2 and just put new chord. I didn't tell you what it was. D. But now you notice the other chords is E minor and A minor. That just says D. There's no small M after it. It's not just a D. It has to be something. It's a D major. Okay. So if you ever see a chord written in the book, G, D, C, B flat, anything like that, it's always a major chord. If it's got a small M written after it, it's a minor chord. Okay. And again, what that means, like I mentioned last time, we don't need to worry about that just yet. That's further down the line. As long as we know what they're called, first of all. All right. So okay. Number 1 is that E minor to A minor exercise where we're strumming in groups of 4. And number 2, we're just getting used to that D major, the new D major chord. All right. So, yeah, I think it's probably a week there to do both. Not too much. Again, don't get frustrated with it. Often, if you get cross and you sometimes you get it and you try it again and you can't get it and you can't get it and you can't get it. Sometimes the first time you pick it up, you get it. And you think, that's great, that sounds wonderful. And then you try it again and you just won't come and it won't come. And that's when you get more frustrated. Often that's the time to put it down and go make yourself a brew and do something else.
Yeah.
You know? And then don't force yourself, even though if you get agitated about it, that's the time to put it down. That's no good. 2 reasons. First of all, we're supposed to enjoy it. And secondly, you won't play any better by sticking it out. You'll find that it'll just go downhill and you'll get worse and worse. You know, you need to just relax, free up a bit of space in the old head, and you know, like I say, make a brew, do something else, and go back to it again, and then you'll come at it a lot fresher, and you'll be able to play a lot better. You know, it goes back to that thing again I was saying about practicing these short bursts. That's another reason if something's tricky, you know, you just you'll sometimes force yourself to put it down. No, I've had enough on that. I'm go back to it in 10 minutes later and resume again. All right.
Yeah.
Any questions
Okay.
on anything we've done there?
No.
No.
No,
It's all straight.
good that.
I think it's all straightforward.
Yep.
Just watch that. I know I can see what you're doing. That's it. Watch your fingers on there. That's it. Yeah. A minor to E minor. Lift the finger off, fish finger, and move them two over. That's the one. Yeah. Excellent.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a good session. So we've got plenty to practice for next time as well. So I'll see you next Wednesday.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Are you sure
Right.
there's no
Cheers,
questions?
Gary.
You can always message me anyway if you've got any questions. If you get stuck on anything, that's not a problem. All right.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
See you
man. Cheers, Gary.
See you next week.
Cheers,
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.